Yo, good morning. Um, I was talking to someone about importing from China, so I just wanted to do a video and address or answer what I use to get products in from China to Ghana. Alright, so I use two main platforms, Alibaba and Temu. I'll get into Temu because it's the easiest. It's straightforward. You go on the app, set up your profile, search for what you want, put it in a shopping cart, pay for it, and have it shipped to you. Alibaba, you're dealing with manufacturers, so you're doing a lot more negotiating and learning about what they use for their products, and you can get as detailed and specific as you want. And a lot of those companies, especially if you're dealing with the manufacturer, not a reseller, they won't turn on the machine to make what you want unless you're ordering a minimum amount. All right, so that's the answer. You cut the video off. Now, to give a little bit more information, like pros and cons, Temu, you have to be real careful because they inflate the picture on a lot of their products. And so, in addition to that, they put the measurements in some of the photos. So just take the time to measure, whatever you want to make sure it's the right size and blah, blah, blah. And here's a little tip, trick. Like in Ghana, Temu, you have a minimum order of 350 CDs. But I learned that if you put whatever in your cart, it's over 350 CDs, you place the order, you can cancel some of the bigger items and you'll still get the rest of your stuff. I didn't do that on purpose. The truck right here, I thought I needed a new terminal. Well, the batteries, the plus and minus is on opposite sides, so I was struggling to get the new batteries in, when we was giving jumps. But I was, I knew to ask, the battery sellers, I need the battery positive and negative on specific size, and we found the right one, so I didn't have to get new cables and new connectors. So I canceled that order and everything still came, so I was like, And then another Temu tip is, I learned, like, when sometimes I order so much that I forget what I ordered, so I'll go on and see, all right, what's coming in. And then I learned that if I just read some of the different buttons that pop up after order, it says you can get like price adjustments. So I click on it and you get like a few CDs back because the products would decrease in price. And so like 3 different orders, I was able to get some money back. So that's another Temu tip. And I think that's about it for Temu. For Alibaba, man, I've been doing business in China since 2011. That's when I went over there. But building the relationship since 2008, and especially going to China, they taught me boots on the ground in real time how to do business and negotiate with Chinese people. So, and for Alibaba, because I'm in Ghana and I'm quote unquote testing the market, you use that phrase when you want to order smaller quantities than the minimum amount. For example, I ordered 25 2 horsepower AC units. The minimum, let's just say, was a container full. I was like, talking to them, I was like, yo, I'm in a new market. Like, I don't have the space for it, and what if nobody buys it? Then I waste all this money. So Chinese people understand the value of new customers and repeat business. So what he did was he took let's say a container fits 1,000 AC units. What he did was he took someone else's order that had 1,000 AC units and he made it 1,025, so I can get those 25 units to me and test the market. But unfortunately, those AC units and some other AC units I had were burnt in a fire and destroyed. What else is another tip? Oh, you got to be careful of there's manufacturers that make it and can answer any question you throw at them. It's amazing. I'm gonna pause on that. In Ghana, some of the employees that work in shops, they have no clue what the heck they're selling, and then there's a language barrier, so it's hard to get information. It's like they just want money, and sometimes they don't even care if they make the sale because they're getting paid whether you buy from them or not. But their small minds don't realize me buying from them is what helps them get paid. But anyways, back to just getting information from these manufacturers. I'll give a quick example for the AC units. I wanted to make sure the company was legit. That was a caution to me. Make sure these companies are going to sell you the right product. So I know compressors and mini split AC units, to be specific, mini split AC units, compressors are very important. So I was asking for a specific compressor, and he was like, all right, I can get you that. But then he was like, oh, something, we have to give you a different compressor. So I was like, all right, give me the model of compressor that you're using. So he gave me the model, I researched it, and it's a legit compressor. So I was like, all right, send it over. So if you're using Alibaba to buy specific things, and whoever you're negotiating with can't provide like the model number, pictures, whatever you ask for, be cautious. That's a red flag. And then another issue I had is I had a couple of companies that I bought products from that was shut down from Alibaba. One example is these wheelbarrows. I was, the wheelbarrows here are cheap. They rust and break. There was one over there, but I guess the guy took it. And so I made sure that I got a heavy duty wheelbarrow. And when I use it, like I go pick up the coconut husk myself. I'm gonna pause on that. Yo, the freaking working out the land here, or working the land is like a workout. So, I see these brothers here, they be mixing cement to make blocks, or they be wheelbarrowing stuff around. These niggas are swole. And I'm like, F that, you got me effed up. I'm gonna get a wheelbarrow and get my swole on too. So that's what I do. Like, I made 3 trips with 3 bags, 3 sacks yesterday. And because this wheelbarrow is unique, it's heavy duty. It got 2 wheels. Most of the wheelbarrows here got 1 wheel. And so these brothers will look at it and stare at it and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, you know what? Let me order some more and see if there's a market to sell it. So I went back on the platform and the company was gone. And then, so that's a caution. Make sure if you need to, it's not a caution, it just happens. So just be aware of that. And then the inverter I got for the aeroponic towers, I got that 3 kilowatt inverter, and then I got a 1200 watt, like a portable inverter. And the freaking inverter, the 1200 watt inverter, was shocking me. And so I couldn't take it no more. So I was like reaching out, sending messages to the dude I was dealing with, and there was crickets. So like time after time I would just say, hey, like, what's going on? You still there? Blah, blah, blah. And then I started researching the company, and they were off the platform. And then so I was like, I have a background in electronics. So I went to Temu. I use these 2 apps regularly. I went to Temu. I got this socket tester, plugged it in this 1200 watt inverter, and the live and the neutral was reversed. So I went inside the inverter, the inverter with my meter, and I traced the connection, and I found where I can swap the wires, and the electrical side of it was straight, but the USB side still, if I touch any metal of the plug, the USB plug, and or what the plug is connected to, I get like I feel the current from that device, and it's not a good feeling, but at least it's, not shocking me as bad as it was on the plug side. But I don't know the recourse to take with these faulty devices. So that's just a caution, and the con of it. And then I gave you the pros. Is like, if you know how to negotiate with Chinese people, they love new customers, they love repeat business, and you can get them to work their system to get you some products that you need. It might not have your custom logo on it, but at least you'll get some quality products at a cheaper price. All right, yo, keep the questions coming. I have to monetize this social media because I need streams of income. So, and I hate asking people hit the subscribe button. So, but people have been subscribing, so that's a plus. So, I'm out here. I'm gonna keep saying that I'm out here, and I learned from other YouTubers that been on the content longer than me. One guy said he learned to be a lighthouse and not a tugboat, because he was like, come, and it just got real frustrating. And so I'm using that approach. I'm more like a lighthouse. Any questions, just ask. Later.